Hello, Farmer Klein. Thanks for dropping in this morning. Adam, thanks for coming in this morning. Welcome in, everybody.
Hi, it's Rick. I'm at the Smith home. Where's Donnie?
Leaves and autumn bookings pile up for Rick's gutter cleaning service.
He's out? Come on.
He needs help before his bottom line gets clogged.
Cristiano, we still got 6 houses today.
Indeed can help him hire. Both
We
vendors
are
are open
here on Stone Valley. I got Hydra with me
and
this morning.
see what quality paint
I think we'll have somebody
Hydra
else
makes
at some point
quality
eventually.
paint with
We got a boatload of contracts to do, so we got 3 different farms on here. We started with one tractor on each farm, and I think I can't remember if it's 5 or 10,000 bucks a piece. Not very much. We're going to team up on a John Deere farm this morning. Get some contracts knocked out. Get going on that.
Oh, hi. Michael Bublé here. For Bubbly Sparkling Water. Boring day at work? See the bubbles. Sure
Oh,
beats a
and
really
I
boring day at work.
wouldn't be surprised if Hydra catches fire this morning because he's a big,
Yikes.
big Case IH fan,
Hydra with
and
easy, refreshing
he's wearing
flavors.
John Deere stuff.
With refreshing flavors and no calories or sweetness, it's the perfect
So
break.
he might burst into
Boring
flame.
day at work. Beautifully bored. See the bubbly side.
But at any rate, we got a bunch of contracts to knock out, so we're going to get started on that this morning. How's everybody doing? And in case anybody's wondering, just takes a little bit of effort, a little bit of server management, but if you do have a crossplay server and you want to use some contract mods, it can be done. It's a pain in the butt, but um, as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6 contracts activated. That's just on this farm. So what I do is I just shut the server down for a second. I add the Better Contracts mod in. I personally hop back on the server, create a bunch, or the mod will create a bunch, accept a bunch of contracts. I save the game, pop back off the server, shut the server back down, deactivate the mod, and then we load back up. Crossplay still works. Hydra's on Xbox, and we got a boatload of contracts, so it takes just a little bit of doing, but it can be done.
I thought you were going to the field 28.
Oh yeah, I did say that, didn't I? Fine. I'll leave. I'll go away. Oh, I know it. He's already cracking the dang whip. Big, big shocker. We ran across our first actual kind of problem with the map last night. Hydra tried doing a harvest contract to the grain mill, and the grain mill does not work as anything at the moment, as far as I can tell. Hopped on single player and I couldn't get the grain mill to work at all. So if anybody's playing on this map, avoid contracts to the grain mill. I don't think they're working. And man, if console ever gets something like GPS, I think I'd go back to being a console player. It's the only thing I really miss when I do a crossplay server is GPS. I just kind of stare at the minimap too much to get my coordinates. It's too much work to drive straight all the time. Well, yeah, it does take a bit more focus. It's a bit harder to read chat. Hello, Phil and Fezzik. How you guys doing this morning? Thanks for stopping in, hanging out this morning. Oh, we got a whole farm dedicated to red stuff. See, right there, Intertrational. That's where the red stuff lives. It's good to hear, Phil. I am doing fine myself this morning. Enjoying playing some Farm Sim. I've been playing quite a bit lately. Modding projects are slowing down for me. Well, the blue farm, they can use Kubota gear if they want. That's kind of what that farm's set up for, is to use all different brands if they want to. That way when people hop on the server, there's kind of a mixture of brands and tools to use. Make sure to check that out Monday night. So we're going to join Farmer Klein for a bit of Kubota side-by-side racing. What map you doing, Phil? What you playing on? I am looking forward to the Kubota pack. I think there's a lot of good tractors in there. I think the 6, 7, and 8, depending on what size of farm you're running, I think fit a lot of farms. The 6, is great if you're doing a lot of small stuff. And the 8, you know, even if you're on a big farm, 200 horse will run a lot of stuff. Well, if you'd spend more time here, Sir Falconator, you'd know that's the normal. It'll go away. It's just an ad. I assume all the big YouTubers set their audio up a little bit differently. Some of them probably use some paid stuff, but I just run Streambeats through Spotify, and because I'm cheap, I don't want to pay Spotify to not run ads. So we get the occasional ad. Oh, and give him a break. It's his first time being on stream. Just takes some getting used to. He'll find his role and when he wants to talk. Hey, it says you finished that field.
Yeah, I thought I might as well plough the whole, cultivate the whole thing. Gonna go up to field 1.
Hey, Banks. Happy Sunday to you as well. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Always appreciate it. Hey, Banks. Happy Sunday to you as well. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Appreciate it. Oh, now Hydra's echoing in the background. Turn me down. Hey, Smoke. Thanks for stopping in. How you doing this morning? We are getting some virtual farming done this morning. I am doing fine this morning. Always a good morning when I get to hop on and do some farm sim. So we'll be done with the stream by the time you get on then. That sounds about right. Hey Grizz, thanks for stopping in this morning, watching the stream, hanging out. I'm waiting for that to be a real-life profession, Farmer Klein. I can't wait for more real-life drone farming. I think that's a career for me. I don't have to go outside, bother my allergies, and I can still farm. I will have years of farm sim practice. There are some sort of remote tractors. Case, I think John Deere's got one too. They both got their autonomous tractors. They can both be somewhat remote controlled, not exactly like an RC car. They're pretty smart and they mostly drive themselves, but I think they can be shut down remotely, that kind of stuff. I do know some people that use drones to fly fields, you know, to do crop checking and stuff like that. You know, you can fly over a field and check the stand, see if you got any issues, things like that. Kind of saves you from walking out in it a little bit. And then, you know, with all the different cameras, you can use your tip cameras and stuff like that. Get a little better idea of what's going on out in the middle of a field. So I'm sure more of that type of stuff is not very far off in the future. Yeah, those drones are pretty impressive, especially when you get into some of the high dollar ones. Kid I went to college with started a drone company actually. He flies power lines with them. He's got all sorts of different cameras. Flies your high voltage power lines, county power lines too. He does contract work for them, and they fly power lines to, you know, check for any damage, anything like that. They use heat cameras on transformers and things like that to make sure they're not being overloaded and all sorts of neat stuff like that. So what you can do with a drone, there's a lot of different things. People are coming up with new applications for them all the time. So they are doing a little bit of everything, you know. Amazon uses them to deliver packages in big cities. Got people that fly power lines with them. I know some, you know, people use them just as toys, which they are kind of fun to fly. I know some farmers that use them to check fields, things like that. So all sorts of usages for them. And as that stuff becomes more affordable, cameras become, you know, better, more affordable, opens up a lot more avenues to everybody to use that kind of stuff. You know, and something like the Iceria Pro field scanner that we got in game, or the sampler, there's no real reason you couldn't put, you know, make some sort of an apparatus that you attach to your drone, that you couldn't take field samples with a drone like that. You know, especially attaching some probes like moisture probes and stuff like that you couldn't fly a field with a drone and take some samples, take moisture readings. Just attach probes right to the drone. Depending on, you know, kind of field and terrain conditions you're in, that might be a better option than a four-wheeler, or the distance you're trying to cover, it might be a little quicker. Oh, I'm missing a bit. And just ignore me dragging it over the highway. Nobody's seen that. But it's contract, so we don't gotta hit every little bit. Is that working fine for you, Hydra? No issues with that setup?
Yeah, fine.
I'm coming down this side.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around. I'm going on the other side. But my lines are pretty straight without GPS.
Oh, so are mine.
Maybe you're just getting lazy.
Oh, most definitely. I have to do it with this big articulated tractor, though. It's a little more of a challenge.
I was going to say we could swap, but no, you can keep the articulated tractors. Oh no.
I figured I'd be a nice guy and use the articulated tractor so you don't have to. I didn't know that guy actually played the game. I figured he was just full of it.
Be interesting to see how straight his lines are.
Not. This field's got a little bit of a hill to it over here.
Hello, hello. You guys actually let me in here. I'm surprised. My IP wasn't banned.
I think he must have unbanned it for today.
Oh, I got you. For the free labor, right?
Yeah.
Just for today, I suppose. I'm gonna make another swipe at this top end to have a little more room to work.
I was going to do a couple of passes for the head. He got here a little bit quicker than I thought he would.
I can have all the shame strips I want when it's a contract.
Just looking at the farm names. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, I clearly don't have favorites.
You know, I actually never played Stone Valley on FS19.
It's changed quite a bit from 19. It's got the same feel, but there's not much that's the same.
I'm actually looking at this big field of cotton over here on field 10. My mouth's watering a little bit.
Oh, that's why I wanted to buy the spinnery the other day. I was hoping it was going to come up as a contract.
The ethanol plant
Bristol
is
Spinnery is it pretty close?
back in testing for its second round of testing, so we'll see. I was able to fix everything but one thing that they wanted me to fix. I can't fix. There's a frost layer that doesn't completely
So the grain mill, right? So don't
encapsulate
take contracts
the
with that.
roof of the
Yeah, it
holding
wasn't working
tanks.
last night.
It only covers about 2/3, leaves an outer ring. So I fixed everything else except that. I tried several different ways to go about fixing that, and for some reason when you export it, they wondered if it was because it was scaled. It's not, because I redid it all in Blender, tried a couple different things, and it doesn't matter
What
what
equipment
size
did
it
you say
is.
to use?
Doesn't
Schultz for the fertilizing?
frost layer doesn't cover the roof. There's a McCormick at the shop with a spreader hooked up.
Sweet.
And then caddy corner from the shop, there's a bulk buy point you can fill from. So we'll see if they pass it or
The
if they
Better
fail it
Earth
again because of that.
Products.
Yeah. We'll see if they fail it again for that. I told them I tried some different things. I talked to Glenn over at OK Used Mods, and he gave me some insight into how it works. Adding a second UV to it. I tried that.
So when you say the map's different,
Which
did they like
worked
completely
a little
revamp
better.
it? I'm trying to remember from like Mr. Silly P's videos. what I can tell it's different, but
It's
it's
pretty
kind of impossible
much
sometimes.
all completely different. So the shop used to be at the top end of the map. Now it's at the bottom. The main farm, it was centrally located like it is now, but it's all changed.
Isn't it
Being
just like upside down?
well, it could be, which makes it feel different. I think this has got some more hills than it had in 19 too. It feels like it's got some more terrain differences.
Westbridge is the same. That's got a lot more hills and
Yeah, it felt a lot flatter in 19.
I only
It's,
played Westbridge in 15.
and then obviously, you know, he used some Giants assets from 22, which are new to the map, and then Lancyboi makes some of his own stuff too, which looks to be mostly new, so it's quite a bit different, or at least it feels quite a bit different to me. It still seems like the same area, but it feels like a different map.
Yeah, I need to either rewatch a map tour or something of the 19 and just kind of get the feel, I guess.
Phil says he turned the map 180, which he could have.
Now, when you say hills, you just mean like little lumps, right? Because I don't think Illinois is very hilly, right?
Yeah, it's pretty flat, but like this field, you know, there's a definite little small hill in it here, which
Yeah,
places
there's a
have.
slope on the east.
What was that, Hydra? I didn't hear you.
There's a
Hey, Cammy,
there's a
thanks for
definite
joining
slope
us,
on the
stopping in and hanging out this morning. Appreciate
Gotcha.
it. You know, like this hill I'm about to go up, I don't remember there being anything like that ever on the map in 19. It could have been, but I don't remember anything quite this steep anywhere.
Maybe it's easier to add. Excuse me, with 22. I mean, I've never made a map or a mod, so I don't really know. You know, like the difference between the map options between 19 and 22. Or is it the same engine pretty much?
Oh, I don't know, because I didn't do much. Didn't have much mapping knowledge for 19 at all. And yeah, as Farmer Klein says that, you know, this is flat compared to where he lives on the coast, so near the coast.
Yeah, it looks like driving by field 15, it has a pretty big dip in it actually too. Like you said, from what I kind of remember, it was pretty much everything was just kind of flat.
But, you know, if you wanted to place something down on this map, I don't think it would be very hard to do. Depending on where you want to put things, there's plenty of really flat spots to, you know, build farms out on a corner of any field. It's not going to be too difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
just
that's
noticed like the rolling in the kind of the fields and stuff. So,
you're on a hill. You're on a hill there now.
yeah, I've noticed field 10 is pretty rolly too.
So it's, you know, I think it's pretty nicely done. You get the feeling, you know, when you drive around the map that it's pretty flat, but when you're, you know, out in the fields and doing things, you do notice that you do actually go up and down a little bit. There's some elevation change.
Yeah, and I mean that gives some life to the map. I mean, if you had an all flat map, it would just kind of be like, eh.
Nebraska Lands was a PC map I played in 19, and that map is flat, but the real life area is flat.
Flat. Yep. Nothing for miles.
Yeah, he used real life terrain data and things to build the map, and I think he said there's only like 6 feet of elevation change across the whole map.
Oh wow.
That's that's nothing.
Yeah, compared to like me living by the Appalachian Mountains, I mean, you go from 30 foot above sea level to 100 or more.
Yeah, and you can do that in the span of 2 kilometers.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know if he introduced, a little more rolling hills to the landscape, but it feels like it's got a little bit more to it than it had in 19, which is nice. I like a little bit
Yeah.
of up and down to the fields.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. And it could be more like predominant, with the map revamp. You might notice it more too.
Hey, Waylon, thanks for joining us this morning. Yeah, part of it is probably, the new game engine and the transmissions and everything, how they handle out in the field. You notice a hill a little bit more because you can hear it more than you used to be able to. You know now when you're actually doing some work, whereas before it was a little iffy.
That is one downside to Discord for me because I'm a console player. Because when I have my headphones on, I don't usually turn the game audio on because I can't hear it either way. So I kind of miss out on that stuff.
Yeah, and the audio in 22 is good.
Yeah, that's what I usually. I mean, there's a lot of times I literally, well, when I have time to play single player, I usually get on and like I won't even have the radio or nothing playing. I'm just kind of taking in the environment.
See, my audio just lowers the game volume to the Discord
Well,
player.
you can use it through your Xbox though, right? Like PlayStation doesn't have Discord integrated yet, so I have to
Yeah,
use
no,
like my phone or my computer.
I use Discord through my phone, but my headset connects direct to my Xbox, like the same way my controller does. And then when I have, as long as I have my volume set around 20 or 30%, when I join a VC through my phone, it lowers the game volumes. Everything goes down, so I can still hear
Oh,
it in the background
so
through
you
the
have your headset
headset.
connected to your phone, Xbox? Is that how you're
Yeah,
doing that? Oh,
yeah.
okay. I just have like a wired headset plugged into my phone right now. I have a Bluetooth headset that I could probably do that with. I've just never tried.
I do everything through that phone. So I need a new iPad, so I can start doing it through that. So, because if I get a phone call, it just shuts off everything, and the
Everything.
phone
Yeah.
call overrides it. So,
Hmm.
Well, that's why PC is the best, because, just connected to the PC, does everything.
Didn't you just say maybe half hour ago that you would go back to console?
Oh yeah, because then I could quit modding. I would never have to mess with anything.
yeah, but you
Uh,
can't quit modding.
yeah, you can't now. You're getting all your mods up, finally pushing through.
Yep, I'm done now.
I think you're missing one.
Ooh,
No. Nope. I'm just gonna
touchy,
kick you right
touchy
off the
subject.
server.
Uh, what's the German translation for shovel?
Shuval.
Schuvel.
There was a Polish hand tool pack in the testing thread one time. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, I haven't seen any more on that because we were aggravating Hydra about that. I do remember that.
I have to go search the third-party website, see if it's out there somewhere. See if it's all Hydra could dream about.
Maybe Giants knocked it back and said we're waiting for Schultz to do it. So.
Ooh, maybe. Maybe they knew it was in the works. This might be our last stream, Hydra. So I guess take it up while we can.
May as well go all out then.
If you want hand tools, buy a PC, play Hofbergman. You can run a wheelbarrow, there's a bucket, there's a watering can. Sure, there will be more.
Goldcrest had a wheelbarrow in 17. I remember that. That you could kind of act like you were pushing.
Well, it's not so much I wanted hand tools. It's just that there's so many maps that come out for 19, and I'm guessing that it's going to be the same with 22. That you start where you start a house, and a lot of the time you've got like little allotments or little gardens, and it's usually got stuff in it, but you can't get equipment to actually plant things. So I just thought it'd be quite good to actually use it for us. Like on the old stream, I think some of the guys on there actually managed to get equipment over the wall to actually plant stuff there, using other equipment.
Yeah, Comston had a lot of the little like plots.
Well, better now. We could get all sorts of little Kubota lawn tractors and stuff. That's way better than hand tools.
Are they? I need to check out the equipment list from that. Are they pushing out like the little, like the kind of tiny tractors and stuff too with that?
No, just.
Or you're just saying now that the licensing's there?
But the modders can, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I saw a thing with that. I think it was just somebody literally just reskinned everything, basically.
Yeah, iconic. And it's a nice pack. He did a really nice job on it. I talked to him about it because he's never released anything for consoles. And pretty much every piece of Vicon or Kavernlin equipment in the game, he has reskinned into the Kubota variant. And is going to release a whole massive pack. Because I was going to do the fast baler. And I was going to make some tweaks to it to make it a bit faster. Not much faster, but a little faster. But I can't do the stickers, or whatever you want to call them, on the model near as well as he did. His look fantastic.
Well, and that's kind of like real life, I guess. I mean, most tractors and equipment has the same general shape. So if you kind of look at it in that sense, like a lot of stuff in real life is kind of like reskinned, you know, for lack of a better word.
It is because Kavernlin and Vicon are owned by Kubota. You could reskin it all again if you get the license for Land Pride, because that's who makes all the equipment, actually. It's just a matter of what sticker they put on it for really which area of the world you live in. Like, I'm sure Land Pride in the UK is probably never heard of it, but over here it's a bit more common. Whereas Kavernlin and Vicon are not very popular North American brands.
That's what I was gonna say. I think those are before that pack. You know, I had actually never heard of those two.
Some of that European stuff is making its way over, like Pottinger, the mowers. I had never heard of that really until I played Farm Sim, but I have seen one of those in real life now. So
I actually, I mean, when I first moved into my
CBW,
new house,
welcome.
I actually passed a class.
How you doing this morning, buddy? Thanks for joining in.
EU version harvester, and I could not believe it. Like in this small town in Tennessee, that someone had that, I was just like, what?
Yeah, you know, until recently it was pretty rare to see a Fent around here. Now there's one farm that leased some or bought some anyway, so I do get to see the occasional Fent.
Yeah, I've yet to see a Fent in real life myself. I mean, down in my area, Massey and John Deere, you get the occasional New Holland, but Massey and John Deere is like the, I guess, dominating brand, you know?
There's really not anything out here except for John Deere and Case. Everything else is pretty rare. You'll have, you know, we got the one Fent farm. There might be one that's got some New Holland. There might be one that runs some Challengers, but pretty much everything's either green or red. That's it.
I saw Hydra shared a video of a, looked like a John Deere. Was that near you, Hydra? Or?
Yeah, my girlfriend was going to my stepmom's with my daughter, and my daughter sent that to me. So that would only be local. No idea where it was going because I'm like 6 miles from Liverpool city centre, so you don't get many tractors around here apart from that big tractor thing that Tom Pemberton did at that time, which I've somehow managed to miss completely. So I drive into Old Hay Children's Hospital. It's nice. Covered all the tractors were covered in lights, and drove in a big convoy around the Liverpool, and then ended up going past the hospital, which was quite good. Hoping if they do it next, they've done it 2 years running now, so I'm hoping they'll do it next year. And if they do, then hopefully I'll be up for it. And I'll go down, try and get some pictures.
Are they're just doing a convoy, or I haven't actually saw that? Are they just
I'm not
moving
too
equipment,
sure.
or are they?
No, it's just tractors. They literally cover them in lights
Oh, I
and
gotcha.
Christmas lights, and they just drive.
How's the bacon doing, CBW?
I think there's like a set route. I didn't know nothing about it until I was catching up on some Tom Pemberton videos, and he covers it in that. And I realised, you know, it's like 5 miles down the road from me, and I didn't even realise it was going on. So. And it's all to raise money for Older Hate Children's Hospital, which is obviously a good cause. And, you know, they do a sponsored walk as well every year, which we in the family do help raise money for them. I think it's the later end of the year, so I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Hopefully go along. Be good to see.
Oh, that's the best time of the year. When the bacon gets wheels under it, that means the bacon is nearly bacon. I seem to be getting a lot more done than somebody else.
I bet my lines are straighter.
Oh, do you want to compare them? I don't think you want to. Mostly because I just made a perfect pass, so...
My lines look like they're only one far out in the other place.
Oh, I think
Yeah,
this one I just almost ran perfect.
Hmm.
Oh,
I'm just over here doing my own thing.
well, looking at the map, my lines don't look too bad.
Time for a real estate reality check from me, a Century 21 affiliated.
Gotta look.
Housing isn't always champagne
controls in the John Deere are a little bit different to the cases. So.
Oh, yeah, I'm much straighter. Much, much better. I mean, look at all of that.
Yeah, but look at all the bits you've missed.
Mm. Mm.
Oh, what's this over here?
Are you looking at the same map?
I see a little piece over there.
You missed a bit.
That left side. That left side, though. I don't know about it.
Yeah, that's not my side. I'm on the east side.
I got GPS precision over here.
You got your mini map open and using the coordinates.
Obviously.
Well, close your mini map, and then let's see if your lines are a straight line. I don't use the mini map.
I mean, look at this.
Yeah, but look at mine. My line is straighter than yours. I can
Plus
see
I got
two
this
sections where yours.
massive side hill over here. That's perfect. Perfect.
You just drive in a straight line, the hill won't make any difference.
Oh, yes, it does. Makes a massive difference. Plus, I'm using an articulated tractor. I think I'm doing a much better job. I'll let the chat say who did it better.
Yeah, well, okay. You're going to be devastated now if I say that my side's better.
Hopefully they're not biased.
Well, you got to take into account not just the line straight, but all the pieces being missed. And I am driving a
How about the
John
amount
Deere,
of how about the amount of ground that's been covered?
I don't think I've done too badly, seeing as my working width is probably about a third of yours.
And you just missed a bit.
No, I didn't.
That's a bit missed.
Yeah, my line's almost straight, perfectly straight. I've missed a bit now. I'm looking at the map.
Catch you later, Farmer Klein. I'll catch you tonight. I'm gonna get my tractor ready to go this afternoon. Where's that other guy at? I'm sure he's making a mess.
Oh, I'm always making a mess.
I'm glad I'm not doing fertilizer anyway.
Well, let's see. I'm sitting at... Oh, that's part of field 10? Oh, dang it. What an idiot. I'm like, how am I 84% and the whole field's
thanks for
showing
subscribing.
fertilized?
Appreciate it.
I missed this corner over here. I thought it was part of field 5. Nope. Yeah, so needless to say, I'm doing a lot worse than you guys are.
Some of the fields are a little hard to tell which field is a part of which field. You know, because it'll have a waterway running all the way through it, through a corner. Well, which field is it a part of?
Yeah, that's what I...
Or when you follow those waterways thinking it's the edge of the field. And then you think I've finished, and then you look up and oh, no. That wasn't the edge of the field, that's just the waterway.
We are doing good this morning, getting to play some Farm Sim, so that's a good thing. I should look to see how big the fields we need to plow are. Might plow with all three of us instead of just two.
We need to get those new ones.
Well, my little starting tractor won't pull it.
Just try and get one of those, you know, those frames where you can pull like 3 things at once and try and get all 3 of them. Just run it in reverse. So instead of attaching 3 implements, you just attach 3 tractors to pull one.
Well, I got a plan for what tractor I'm going to buy next, but, you know, money.
But when we get onto the ploughing, if you want to have a competition about straight lines and ploughing, just check out the straight lines on the field on Western Worlds.
You did have that one little chunk that was messed up.
That's because the field's been extended. So.
Oh, see, he's got an excuse already. It's a big field.
Ten is, I don't know. I guess, I don't know, 17 or 10. Maybe 12. It's hard to say which is like the biggest field. 12 is pretty massive though.
I don't remember. I'd have to use a mod, I could tell you.
I think 12 is bigger than 17.
I'm sure Farmer Klein's map tour probably shows it.
What kind of mod is that? Do you have like a measuring tool?
Additional field info.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that. Well, 10 is so broken up and it's not perfectly square, so it's definitely not the biggest. But it's pretty big.
Well, I can tell you they do compare in real life because you do not want to have a GPS error or plant crooked near the highway where everybody sees it because somebody is going to say something. Used to be a bigger deal before the days of GPS who could plant straighter. Plus, you know, I got to drive straight and I got to do the cinematic camera rotation. So it adds another level of difficulty.
I see, I see. Surely there's a mod for that, right? A cinematic mode. You think you could get some like Grand Theft Auto cinematic shots, you know, like along the wheel and stuff? Not easily, right?
Are we going to finish this properly, or looks like it?
Up to you. Is it finished yet? I've been my own cinematic, so I can see if it's completed.
You gotta remember you're talking to the OCD guy.
No, I don't finish
He
contract.
can go. He can go back and touch up the bits I missed. Then.
I'm not that bad.
Ah, so you admit it now.
When my girlfriend comes in and she sees me playing, and she'll look and she'll see me miss a couple of bits, and then I'll keep going. And she goes, "Is that a contract?" Right, yeah. Because she knows full well I don't need to get every bit of the contract. But if it was our own field, go back and get every bit. I've even gone back with like block pickers and.
I haven't played it,
One
but it looks
thought.
pretty good, Denzel. I don't know if anybody else has. We have discussed it for. We had discussed a little bit for another server, but haven't come to a conclusion yet.
Yeah. I guess. Contracts wise, though, I guess I don't know. Are you losing money if you look at it that way? You know, if you don't completely finish it.
No, because you're still going to get paid for the contract. You just it only gives you a certain, even though it says like 100%. It's just you only have to do like 90% of the field.
Right.
To receive payment.
Oh, how do I get out of here? Back to the farm. Or through the shop. We'll just drive around.
Are you guys racing?
No, he doesn't know
My disc is glitched in some sort of upright position that's not correct. It should fold back down, but it doesn't want to. It's stuck in this awkward position. It can't be right. You want at least one of them plows, and you can use that tractor Hydra.
Yeah, and
Unless you got some other scheme. Could rent one of the. Well, I don't know how wide that. How wide is that John Deere plow? That 2510 or whatever it is.
the 24.
Could lease one of those if it's a little wider and use one of these tractors.
16.7.
Bigger than 9. Hey,
Oh,
there's a van there, buddy. And I got it on camera.
It wasn't you this time?
At least I kept my wheels on the ground.
No 360 1080s.
Gotta do a barrel roll and land it back on the tires. That's a real talent.
16.7 meters, needs 320.
This this cultivator is broken.
Just checking.
Little toasted. Which field are you guys about to plow?
I don't know, one of the three that needs doing.
Oh. I'm just on my fertilizing gig. Unless y'all need help with that.
I better avoid the trees, I'll catch my cultivator up there.
Well, look, there's my new farm.
That you don't own yet.
Not yet. I get that before you get the cows.
No, because I want to own that as soon as we complete all these contracts. I'm not sure
How much is it?
what kind of bug this is. Smoke, because I've never had it before.
Yeah, don't forget my 25%.
Oh, I'd figure that's we'll be all square when I gotta help you with the harvest contracts. I'll make you do by yourself later.
You know he loves those potatoes.
Oh, no potatoes. They're all normal things.
Just wait till he's offline and then just plant the whole lot.
Oh, I'll just take the server down and fix it with F12. I'm gonna leave that there.
No, what we're gonna do? You want to get 24 tens?
Well, I think we ought to get one. And then we'll see how things are going.
Do we get like a, even if we're not on the green farm, do we get like a stipulation bonus or something?
Yeah, we usually split the money up a little bit when we're done.
Okay, gotcha.
Nearly
Let's
£5 grand.
see. I need
You've
to
got
log
all
in.
those fertilizer contracts will help catch the blue farm back up a little bit.
Yeah, I was fixing to say I actually need to log in because I am not a farm manager, so I can't accept them.
Why don't you do that doubled up? Oh, that says completed.
that-
Sheesh. I was going to send you to 20, but we've already done 28 and 30.
9, 11, 20.
Let's go to 9. It's the closest. Oh, 20's right over there. Let's do 20. It's a contract implement and we're done with the cultivating contract, so I'm just going to leave it. People can stare at it and all of its massive brokenness.
You never even noticed, did you?
Did I notice what? Was I supposed to notice something?
Well, you went. Not really here or there where you noticed.
Not to change the subject, guys, on you. Is this McCormick? Is that leased under
Yeah,
contract?
don't complete the contract
10.
or you'll lose your track. I don't know which one it is. It's
Okay.
one of them. So
Gotcha.
just do them all and then complete them when we're done.
Okay. Sounds good.
I don't remember what come with what.
I think it was 10 because 10 is showing a 7,000 deficit
Hey,
for
Eric.
released equipment,
How you doing this morning? Thanks for dropping in.
which is not bad considering the contract paid almost 50,000.
Yeah, we might not. We might not have to split money up too bad when we're done with all this, because fertilizing is probably going to pay the best. And I did those on the blue farm since it was farthest behind, and the green farm already owns a plow, so that's why I did the cultivating and plowing contracts with it, and then Hydra gets to do the lucky harvesting on the red farm.
Was there a case over there? He'll be happy. You got the case over there.
Yeah, and the one contract gave out a case, so I borrowed that one
Ooh.
for him.
You should enjoy that.
Might have to change my clothes. Oops, I already have.
Does the Kubota DLC will unlock the ability to have a passenger, but is that for all vehicles, or do we know how that's going to work yet?
Not necessarily all.
Yeah, I think there's about a 4-seater like Mahindra thing. Works.
They are going to add it to all the base game pickups and ATV, UTV, stuff like that.
Okay.
And then they're going to add it to the base game semis as well. So you can take 2 people in the Superliner or whatever. And then a goofy one that they added it to is the Prinoff. You can actually hold 3 people in that.
Oh wow.
Didn't I
Which
see? I
was-
think I saw a picture of 82 Studios, one of his.
And then that's
the
so the
TLXs.
mods. The modders will be able to add it to their mods as well. So, A2 Studios is putting passenger nodes in the bed of the pickup.
Oh nice.
So I don't know how many he's going to have it hold, but you know, if he wants to do like 6 people in the bed of a pickup, you'd be able to haul a whole server with it.
I didn't know because, like, you know, some of the tractors have the base game tractors have the passenger seat, so I didn't know if that was gonna become an option or.
And they've never said that they were going to add it to any of the tractors. It'll just be interesting to see. You know, we'll just have to try it out, see what does and what doesn't. But modders, for sure, you know, on a modded tractor will be able to add it.
I was just
Hey,
thinking like how
MB,
that's gonna look.
Thanks for stopping in this morning. How you
Like
doing?
getting the character model to sit properly in those little tiny seats.
So from what I've seen from David, is that there's like 6, 7, maybe 8 nodes that you have to add, and characters are a pain in the butt anyway. So like when you do a tractor, they have to add nodes for their hands, for your feet, and you know, because you can tell when somebody doesn't do it quite right, because you'll have like a broken wrist on the steering wheel. You'll be holding all sorts of goofy, because they got to set all that up, and it's a pain in the butt. So it's going to be the same way for passenger sport, is you'll have to, you know, have a node for where everything needs to go to make it look normal. So
Yeah, feet.
modders want to
hands.
spend enough time. You want to put a buddy seat and have it haul a person. It'll work. It's just going to take some time to do it right.
I love buses next and bus routes.
Bus simulator.
Doing good this morning, MB. Getting some farming done on the server here. But, you know, the thing to remember is even with the mods, I don't believe it's going to work unless you have the Kubota pack.
Yeah, that's what I think that's what was said, was the DLC like was needed to be able to do that.
Yep, so even, you know, the TLX will have it, but it's not going to work unless you have the Kubota DLC.
Right. Which I understand the logic, but at the same time, it's kind of frustrating because, like, your server is now locked. That ability is now locked behind a paid DLC. But at the same time, I mean, how often do you, like, now actually want to have a passenger? You know what I mean? Unless you're just trying to, like, do some stunt jumping or just kind of roleplay element, you know?
Yeah, you know, and it'll be fine for private multiplayer and servers, but you know, anything public, you don't add DLCs to anyway. So,
Right.
but I mean, if people want to use it, then you have to buy it. That's what you call good.
Yeah. I mean, assumingly it will be base game in the next FS, so it just, I mean, it is what it is. Nature of the beast.
Yes, should be base game feature in the next game, so everybody can look forward to that, whether you buy it or not.
Yep.
I think it would just be a novelty thing.
What was that, Mike? I didn't hear.
I think it would just be a novelty thing. I think people will get it, they'll use it for a bit, and they'll be like, oh yeah, that was fun. Now we never use it. You know, it's just like, I don't know, the things like the racetracks and things like that, I think, you know, they can be, you know, you put a racetrack in, or, you know, you use it. Oh yeah, that was fun. I'm bored.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like right now, I mean, it's not like I'm just like foaming at the mouth, you know, to have you guys like ride along with me while I'm, you know, fertilizing a field. It's not like it's breaking the game. It'll just be a cool concept. Like, if you want to go,
Yeah, I
would be.
use it.
It'll add some usefulness to like owning a pickup, and you will be able to do some more roleplay stuff with like that, because you'll be able to leave a tractor in a field now, because it'll make sense to maybe, you know, like when we're harvesting and you got a combine and you got a grain cart and you got a truck out there, it'll make more sense to use a pickup now, because you can haul 3 or 4 people out there to the field, you know, for doing some role-playing stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, it just doesn't really help you farm at the end of the day, but it'll be, you know, it'll just be nice to have. It's a new feature. It's a nice one. No complaints from me.
Maybe the dirt bike guys will add that to their dirt bikes. That would be interesting to see.
And, you know, there's a segment of the community that will really like it, because that's all they do is drive around in pickups, so now they can take their buddy with them and they can drive around and not farm. So,
What do you think about too? Some of the guys are doing the no tractor challenge and things like that, so I could see it. You know, you could utilize it for that and stuff too.
I wouldn't, I mean, just me personally, I wouldn't buy the DLC just for that feature. But I like the tractors too. I think the M6, 7, and 8 are nice tractors. They're going to fit a lot of farms depending on what size of farm you want. If you're doing smaller stuff, the 6 is a really nice looking tractor and will fit on a small farm. And for doing some of the smaller jobs on a big farm, the M8 is going to do a lot. You know, it'll run a mower setup. It can bale. You can put a loader on it, fertilize, do all that stuff with the M8. So that's for me. That's why I'd buy it.
Oh yeah,
but
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
not
for sure.
100% whether I'd get it if I didn't have the season pass.
And with Iconics pack, with all the equipment in it, I mean, that's a nice pack of stuff that people are going to get for free if you want to do a Kubota farm. I mean, that's going to be a really nice pack of stuff to have. So, and I mean, it adds a brand.
Yeah.
I'll support Giants
Yeah,
for adding a brand.
The more
Big-
brands, the better. I mean,
A big brand too. Kubota's globally pretty well recognized. So, you know, I've never seen an Antonio Carrero. I don't know how many people have, but pretty much everybody has seen a Kubota in some shape or form, even if it's a lawn tractor.
That's what I was gonna say. I'll be interested to actually see their bigger equipment because around here, you know, just the smaller, like 25, 50 horsepower tractors is, you know,
You
pretty
know,
common.
yeah, you know, a lot of cities use Kubotas for road ditches and stuff like that for mowing that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it'll be nice to see the bigger stuff in person, or in the game at least. And it adds to the speculation for the expansion. I think it's going to be a Japanese-inspired map. It's going to be the map expansion. We're going to add rice.
Ooh, that would be cool. Something new.
That
Do you
would
guys
probably
need
make
help?
sense because hasn't there been a few tractors now coming with race wheels?
Yeah, some modders have been doing rice wheels on tractors. I think it would fit what modders are doing. It's going to hit because Asia's a new market to Giants now that they're self-publishing. God, who was doing it before? What was the company? They did SnowRunner too.
It's like right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it either.
Yeah, that publishing company didn't publish the game to the Asian market, so that's a brand new market to Giants. I think they're going to want to hit that. And it kind of, you have some breadcrumbs leading you to that because you start with, you know, they've got the one Izeki tractor. That's a Japanese brand. So you got one Izeki. And now you're adding Kubota. That's a Japanese brand. So I think it's leading up to a Japanese map expansion. And I would like to see rice added. I think that would be fun for the game. And that's a big global crop too. Rice is big globally. Focus. Yeah, Focus Interactive was the used to be the publisher. So all new market is the Asian market. So I think Giants would be smart to try and capitalize on that and do a Japanese-inspired map expansion.
Really? So this game, the previous if I could speak, the previous FSs were not in the Asian market. It was just like a European American market.
Yeah, European, South American, Australia predominantly.
I didn't know
Now,
that.
I don't know, like as far as, you know, an Asian player on Steam, you know, somebody from Japan. I'm not sure if they were on Steam, if you could just buy the game. I'm not sure how that part of it works.
Yeah, I
But as
don't know
far as
if it was like region locked. Yeah.
right, so, but as far as walking into a store, you know, a person in Japan wasn't going to walk into a store and buy it. It wasn't published there.
Hmm.
And it
It's
is
interesting.
now.
I was not aware of that.
That's part of the reason I think they wanted to self-publish.
So this is all strictly Giants now. I feel like I knew this, but this has like slipped my mind. So Giants is publishing and developing now, or is that further?
They're doing both.
Okay. Okay.
And they've had some bugs and some kinks, like their eShop version, the updater, has been a little wonky. And you know, so rolling out these DLCs and updates to everybody instead of having, you know, Focus Interactive handle all of that, they have to handle all the partners now. So and with crossplay, so when you have a game update, they've got their own version, and then they've got to have Steam release it, they got to have Epic release it, they got to have, you know, Microsoft release it for Xbox, and you can assume Xbox or Microsoft has got a separate department for the old gen and the new gen, so they have to be released side by side, and then same with PlayStation, so you've got 2, 4, 6, 7 different, you know, you've got to get 7 different entities to do an update at the same time, or as close to the same time as possible, so you don't break everybody's crossplay. You know, people aren't out for several days like they have been. You know, it hasn't worked perfectly for them.
Well, right. I think Mike, you had some issues, right, with one of the updates on the Xbox.
I don't think so.
Well, you know, I think Microsoft has been slow on a couple, PlayStation's been slow on a couple updates. Giant's own eShop updater is dreadfully slow download speeds on a couple updates.
Yeah, I don't think
Well,
I've had any issues once they're showing. I know that there has been delays with it,
Oh, okay.
with them being pushed out. Again, like Schultz said, PlayStation's been the same. So
Well, I know I've always heard that Sony is hard to work with because they have to go through more things, or they have. I've just always heard that compared to other games, and I mean, I'm a PlayStation player myself, but I've always heard that Sony, it's harder to push something out through Sony than it is like Microsoft or obviously PC or something too. Now, I don't know if that's true, but
I think Sony is a bit more strict with what they do and don't allow. I can't remember, I wouldn't say this is factual, but that Microsoft would allow consoles, would allow the Xboxes to have script mods. They don't really care. But PlayStation said no, that's not going to happen. So it's Giant's decision then to not, to not allow it on the Xbox consoles, even though Microsoft probably would, to try and keep things a bit more even for the player base. Because, I mean, could you imagine if Xbox had scripts and PlayStation didn't? I mean, that would be a big deal. So keeps it fair for neither to have it, but everybody can go blame Sony.
well, that's like I know it's not FS, but like Skyrim and Fallout. I remember Bethesda. It took forever to be able to have the mod creator and the mod content on those games because Sony's pushback on that. I do remember that being an issue.
Now they're Microsoft owned, so I wouldn't be surprised that if you possibly wouldn't start to see mods in those games because of how Microsoft wants to do their. Microsoft wants you to both have a PC and an Xbox. They want you to own both. They want you to buy Game Pass, and they want you to be able to go back and forth seamlessly between the two.
Right. Well, they actually eventually pushed the mods out on those games for PlayStation and stuff, but I just remember it took forever because Sony, it seemed like they had stipulations, that was pretty extreme. And I'm actually kind of curious now with Sony entering the PC market, like how that's gonna, like the new God of War and Spider-Man and Uncharted, I think, is all getting like a PC release, but it's through Sony's PC. Sony PC, I think, is the company, so I don't really know how that's gonna all, coexist. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I haven't looked into that much because I just play on my PS5 if I want to play a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean that's how it's always been. For me personally, I've always felt like PlayStation has had the better exclusives. I mean, that's just me, so that's why I've always stuck with PlayStation. But I have my PC too, for certain games that I like to play.
Yeah, I originally bought a PlayStation for MLB The Show because it was only available on PlayStation. I've always been an Xbox guy, and then I bought a PS5 because that's what I could get when I bought one. I would prefer to have an Xbox now, but that's
I
only
bought an
because
Xbox for Ark.
only because the Xbox would work a little more seamlessly with the PC.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because the hardware is better, because the PS5 is really nice. I mean, it's fast. It
Yeah.
handles pretty much everything as well as my computer does.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's like Hydra was just saying, like Arc is on the PlayStation now, but I think like if you played Arc on the Xbox, you could jump over to your PC and play the same.
Yeah, you
I'm
can play
assuming
the,
you could play the
this
same file and
exact same
stuff.
save and everything on some of the games. Like I think Forza, like I play, you know, Forza on Thursdays with Farmer Klein. I think if I had it on Xbox and maybe had Game Pass or something, I don't know exactly how it works, but I could play my Forza save on both, you know, same save on console and PC.
But can you play Forza crossplays?
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
like PC to Xbox.
I think PC and Xbox anyway.
Well, yeah, Forza's not on.
Don't know
PlayStation?
why.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, yeah, that's what I meant. Like, I've got Xbox. I don't have Forza like Horizons. I don't really like the Horizons, but I've got
I don't
Forza
know
7. So, like,
if, but nobody we know has it on Xbox. You know, we're a bunch of PC players over there.
yeah. That was more my question. Like, you know, is it possible to, with the fact that you got Game Pass and stuff?
I think it is possible to cross-play it.
Yeah, I want to say I feel like almost every Microsoft product at this point you can. I think wasn't that a big push with the Xbox One and stuff?
Yeah,
Like that was
that's
a big.
their-
Like
that's
they
their
really
big
wanted to
next-gen
focus on
push
that.
is they want, you know, they want you to be able to pick it up on PC, and then be able to play it on your Xbox too. So that's Microsoft's big push.
My brother's a big Forza player. Plays them all. Buys all the DLCs, all the packs, all the extra cars, everything.
Off to 9.
I haven't played Forza in ages. I think Forza. I prefer the one with the tracks though.
Yes, next spring, Forza Motorsport is coming out, and I'll be getting that.
Is that track shit?
Yeah, that'll be the tracked-based one. I
might have to look again.
I posted a little. I think I posted a preview video of it in Mr. Sealy P's Discord in the video games section. I'll let you go around here faster.
Where are we going?
9.
Okay.
What which was the open world Forza? Or the
That's Horizons.
Horizons? Yeah.
Hey, Miss
Always,
Loud
my
Style.
brother has a.
How
My
you
brother-in-law.
doing? Thanks for stopping
My
in.
stepbrother, one of those, has a Xbox and he always played Horizons, so it was always kind of. I enjoyed watching him play that.
It's fun, but it's, you know, it's a little arcadey, whereas Motorsport coming out next spring is going to be much more simulation and track based.
Yeah.
But Forza's fun. It's nice to get on there every week and grind out the stuff.
I'm one of 4 brothers, so we all play. We're all really close in skill level, so it is literally down to, you know, you take a corner, you brake a little too much, and you can lose a race. You know, the race ain't over till it's over. You never know. Alright, I'm gonna put my mic on mute,
I'm doing good this morning. Getting to play some FS, that's always a good day.
Daughter's gone out, so you don't have to worry about her coming screaming.
Well, and for Horizons, because of all the dirt races, I don't use my wheel, and I'd like to use my wheel more. So I'm excited for Motorsport to come out, because that'll definitely be a wheel game for me.
Not to change the subject, but I'm showing 98% on 15, and I'm not really sure what I'm missing.
Yeah, 15, you gotta get the whole dang thing.
Okay. Just making sure I wasn't missing something. I see there's a couple
Yeah, you're
spots
not
on the
really
edges.
missing any big spots, but all them little spots, 15 and 14 are tough. You gotta get the whole dang thing. I don't know why they're like that.
I wonder if maybe it's including the water drain off, maybe, and that's kind of messing with it, maybe. You know what I mean? Like it's the contract is recognizing that as a
Yeah, it's
field,
part of the
but
field. Yeah, I didn't.
because you're not changing the status.
I was thinking about sending a report to Lancyboi on some of those little things like that, but you can, I mean, you can complete the contract, but you do pretty much have to do 100% on that field, not
Okay.
quite like contract normally works. 15 was like that, 14 I thought was the same way when I did them done
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. It's no big deal. I was just like, because I just saw the little specs and I was like, okay, is 15 one of these other fields and I'm not computing that or what? But I mean, I don't care to go get the edges. That's whatever.
How many contracts you got left?
One after this, and it's a small one. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Yeah, field 29. It's only a $2,000 contract, so I'm assuming it's not a big field.
I'm gonna tell chat
There
about
we
that
go.
again. So, if anybody in chat is a console player or on a server with some friends or a PC player, you can, you know, if you have your PC player add the Better Contracts mod to the server, they can go in with that mod, create new contracts, accept all the contracts. You know, you can borrow equipment like we've done even, and you can accept a bunch of contracts. You know, you can make it activate, and you can accept a bunch of contracts. And then I just take the mod back off the server, and we start it back up. And you know, there's two console guys with me today. They're able to take advantage of me accepting how many ever contracts I accepted. 6 over here, I think 3 harvests, and how many ever FERT contracts on the blue farm, which you shouldn't be able to do, but sort of bypassing around the system, you can do that.
Yeah, I think there was 6 accepted on when I started over here. Like 5 or 6, which is pretty nice because
I think 15 total contracts were not sure base game on a server. I'm not sure if you can have 3 per farm or just 3 total, but that's a lot more contracts. And plus there's a button and it just makes more contracts spawn up for you. So I slept to a new day and there was only like 2 contracts, and then I force it to give us more contracts.
I think with base game you can accept 3 contracts per farm, because when I came on the other night, there was a contract on another farm that needed collecting, and I accepted 3 contracts on the red farm, while this other one was needed collecting on the other farm.
Yeah, I would think it's 3 per farm, but I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, you know, that would be 9 total contracts versus the 15 we were able to do because I cheated it. Yeah, and that's essentially what I've done, Smoke. It's just, instead of refresh contracts, it's called better contracts. Refresh only refreshes the list.
Do we own
I'm not
a
sure it allows
silo
you
or anything?
to use more.
Multi-fruit silo. I didn't. I'm gonna have some fertilizer left over, so I didn't want to
We just dumped it
waste
to
it.
shop.
Okay. Sounds good.
Is that bigger than it was in 19? Or is it the same size? Do you remember that plow? You probably didn't use it because it's green.
No, I don't. No, I don't really use this sort of. 12 meters is normally about my comfort level. Without having to use articulated tractors. So. It's not bad. It's good.
Yeah, and it's something a little different than these ones. That was
That's the joys of multiplayer, though. I get to use other stuff that I probably wouldn't normally.
that was what I was going to buy for the green farm to use. Just have some different stuff, and then the red and the blue can either use these or we'll go to that other big one. But I thought the green farm's probably going to buy one of those, even though that other one's bigger and doesn't require any more horsepower. Ooh, a lag spike. I don't know if everybody got that.
No, I'm okay on my end, as far as I know.
And Smoke says that was 12 meters on 19. It's 18 now.
I noticed we have 2 of these,
Them
what are
spreaders.
these?
I think the green,
Yeah, I didn't know.
the green farm, I think I have one leased.
Oh, okay. Yep.
But that one came
Yeah,
with
this
a
is-
contract, so it don't cost anything to use the one you're using.
Gotcha. Am I good to return all this if I accept it? Or do you want me to hold on to it?
If you're done, yeah, you can complete all those contracts.
Okay. I shall do that.
And then you can join the green farm, lease another one of those plows that Hydra's using, and we'll finish our plowing jobs, and then we'll probably call it a stream. Because with another one of those going, it won't take very long to finish 9 and do 11.
Okay.
I
Blue
think
Farm
somebody
is...
completed the wrong contract.
What was it? What happened?
Oh, did you lose your
That
tractor?
tractor. Yeah, it disappeared.
Oh yeah, he should have just completed the ones on the blue farm.
Oh, it was showing me all contracts. I'm sorry. I thought it would only show my contracts. My bad.
So, I just see
You can
this horrible thing.
you can lease a tractor, Hydra. Got plenty of money.
Oh, I've got the 9RX.
Okay. Well, that other guy can figure out whatever he wants to do then.
I thought it only showed the farm specific contract. That was my bad. I didn't realize I could complete your guys' contract.
Well, I mean, me on the green farm, it only shows me mine. So I don't know why it showed you all of them, but
Unless that tractor was for.
Oh, it may have been, yeah.
it was for a cultivating contract that I took on the green farm. Because I wasn't going to borrow another one, but then that 9RX came up for another contract, and that was bigger, so I took it. Well, he can always lease one of these plows and use that blue tractor. I don't know if that.
All the fast tracks there.
Oh yeah, or he could use the fast track in one of these 9-meter plows.
Is that what you guys are using, the 9-meter plows?
That's what I'm using. Hydra's using a different one, but you took his tractor away.
Yeah, I kind of broke him on that one.
Oh,
Well, it
yeah,
wasn't
there's-
intentional.
There's his plow just sitting in the middle of the field. Poor Hydra.
Where is it? Let me see it. Let me see the chaos I caused.
It's over there, right next to the road, where everybody can see it.
There's always one though, isn't there?
Oh yeah. You want to use this one? I'll drive that articulated tractor if you don't want to. It don't bother me.
Yeah, if you want.
Oh, I see the damage now. Who left this plow here? Yeah, I don't know why someone would complete a contract you had a tractor borrowed on. It's kind of messed up. But when you say the blue tractor, you mean the Ford/Lizard tractor?
Well, the fast track will pull a 9, and that don't cost us anything to use, so do that.
Okay. I can do that then.
Assuming it'll work.
This one's not tied to a
swap
leaf.
over?
Yeah, I'll switch you. That's alright, I haven't got to use this plow yet in 22.
Now that you can get anything on Uber
It's not bad. It's
you can order fresh ground
it's
coffee
alright actually.
and detergent so you can finally get a jump on that laundry while it grows.
So I'm good to at least say another 9 meter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you should lease that a Pottinger Servo 25.
And he's got to do 11 by himself for punishment.
Yeah. You have to stay on till it's done.
Let me see. Let me just take a look at 11 real quick here. Let's see. 1, 2. Where's 11 hiding at? Ooh. Ooh, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, this works nicely. It'd have been nicer behind that other tractor, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was working quite nice behind you.
Yeah.
That's the setup
What?
I'm aiming for in the end, is to have an 8RX in this plow as part of my plans for the green farm.
Yeah, what happened to that other tractor?
We don't use workers too often, so it they're saying it's not worker friendly in the chat, this plow.
Yeah, if you turn too tightly, you can catch it.
Oh, that's relatively
I think
easy
using,
to fix.
It's not something you could. I'd recommend using duals with.
You guys want me to jump on 9 or start on 11?
You can jump on 9 because this thing's all split up weird.
Okay. My chat doesn't seem to want to load. I'm not sure why.
YouTube is a
Especially mobile.
fantastic platform.
Or maybe nobody wants to talk to you.
I mean, that's possible too.
Too bad we didn't get to harvest these fields and we're just plowing under perfectly good wheat fields, but hey, whatever they want to pay us to do, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Withered away. Do any of the farms own any land yet, or is it just all contracts at the moment?
All contracts. I will own some land and no fields probably today.
Gotcha. You're just trying to get what you can before Hydra, right? Gets all the land.
Oh, he's got a plan now. And then I don't know. We kind of have a plan for the blue farm. I need somebody to wants to be on here more and do more time with it. I split my time between the green and the blue. Well, actually, I spend all my time on the green farm mostly, and then give my money to the blue farm.
Yeah, that's what I do. Stay on the red farm. Give 25% of what I earn that day to each farm.
I think I'm gonna start on this little, like dog leg over here, I guess. I matched the plow to the JCB. Are you impressed?
That's a good point, Eric. The workers don't like much anyway, so. And they really don't like this map. The little bit I've used them on this map, they don't, there's too many fingers in the fields for them to figure out.
Are you guys realistic plowing with this 9mm, or are you you know, using the backwards trick?
That tractor should pull it 11 mile an hour either way, I would think. That 4440 will pull it the right way at 8 mile an hour, so it's not that big a deal either way. That 4440 should be woefully underpowered for it, but pulls it just fine forwards. But it's on there backwards.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, the JCB's pulling it. No problem either way. Nice. You know, I never really was a big JCB fan until 22. I've been using them a lot more, just trying to try something new.
Well, when the game first came out, they were real handy because they go 40 mile an hour, and the semis were junk. So they were the go-to semi.
Yeah, they are the fastest tractor still, right?
Yeah, there's some Deutz mods that are 39. I think Fent will go 39, but yeah, they're around the fastest. Oh, big speed wobble. That's gonna make everybody in chat sick.
That's the norm though, right? They're used to that.
Well, if they ride with me in ATS, pretty normal to think this is not going quite right. We will be on ATS tonight instead of tomorrow night.
Oh, you guys are doing an early stream, huh?
Yeah, because we will do a Kubota thing tomorrow since we have the eShop version. We'll get that at about 5 o'clock tomorrow, so we will do a Kubota stream tomorrow night instead of ATS.
Oh, nice. With the regular group, are you doing the Kubota, or?
Yeah. I don't know, there's probably going to be some extras, but Farmer Klein and
Nice.
the gang.
Nice.
Eric says up there where he's from, you can buy a JCB with a fifth wheel.
Really? Probably not cheap, I would imagine.
Well, it's not cheap in the first place, so.
Our tractor showed us on in the UK the featured one of the fastest fast tracks on with all the aerodynamics and everything on it. Kind of cool.
Stateside, most tractors aren't as fast as their UK variants either. I think most of the UK tractors have, and EU tractors have an air brake set up.
Really?
And we don't use air brakes on tractors over here. Even on the new ones, it's still all, I think, old school brakes.
I wonder because the roads are shorter, narrower. Do
I don't
you think
know.
that's the reason, or like
But
you might need that stopping power or something?
well, they just go faster, so they need the stopping power.
Well, that's true too.
The fastest tractor we got will do about 32 miles an hour on the farm, and that's moving right along. That's plenty fast. Doesn't seem that fast, but you,
I mean, for a tractor, that's pretty quick.
yeah, when you're driving down the road at 32 miles an hour, as big as you are.
Still, yeah, still got people behind you honking, flashing their
Yeah.
lights, yelling obscenities out the window. You know.
Yeah, Eric said he had a Deutz, and that had air brakes with ABS.
Ooh. I really like the Deutz. I've actually been playing with those a lot on 22 as well. They're just a real pretty tractor. I like the shape of them.
Yeah, I like the 8 and the 9 series Deutz there.
Deutz.
Fantastically good looking tractors. But part of the difference is, you know, like over there, a lot of the farms use a tractor for actual haulage, especially during harvest. They'll use a tractor to haul to the elevator or whatever they want to call it over there. Whereas over here, nobody hauls anything with a tractor. It's all done by truck or semi, one of the two.
Right. I guess just convenience-wise, I mean, over there it's probably easier just to...
We've got, you know, much farther to go. So even at 40 mile an hour, that's not a very quick trip.
Right.
I mean, even so, every fall I go help my buddy with corn harvest. He's got 2 semis, and yeah, down the dirt road it does 45, but we still had enough highway to do 65 on the highway to the elevator, you know, and it's probably a 15-20 minute trip in a semi. If you were in a tractor, that would take an hour at 40. So
yeah. Yeah, a lot of the...
And he's hauling pretty close. I mean, there's a lot of farmers that have to haul a lot farther. He himself has hauled a lot farther. He grows some dry edible beans like Pinos and Northerns, and he'll haul those hour and a half in a semi if the price is right. That's a long trip. That'd be forever in a tractor.
And probably not legal in some aspects, depending on... well, legal's not the right word, but, you know, just not practical, because depending on, like, what kind of road you're on, you know.
Yeah, and to
People
haul,
over here tend to turn their nose up at you if you're in a tractor on certain roads.
a tractor's just so much wider. I mean, you can pull the same amount as a semi can haul, but a semi actually goes down the road properly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've got guy my dad works for. We got grain carts that'll hold a semi load, but those things take up 2-lane highway.
The fastest one that JCB do does 135 miles an hour.
Well, that's made to do that though.
How fast did you say?
135.
Gee.
they got a racing tractor. It's pretty neat.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, it's got like proper like
I don't
aerodynamic fins
I,
and stuff. And
I don't think that thing's ever seen a field in its life or had anything hooked behind it.
Probably not.
it's kind of
Is
cool
that
though.
It is kind of
is
cool.
that?
It's pretty neat.
I don't know if that's as common over in like the EU as it is here, but you know, people get those old Masseys and Fords and you know put like LS motors in them and stuff. I don't know if that's as common over there, but you know, that's kind of cool to see over here.
V8 swapped Ford 8N's pretty popular swap.
Hmm.
They do that stuff over there too. Tractor pulling is just as popular over there as it is over here. They do. They run some really different stuff than we do as far as tractor pulls go. I think Eric, the Crazy Viking in chat, used to do some tractor pulling, if I remember correctly. They got some really neat multi-engine and turbine engine stuff because, you know, a lot of that stuff is old decommissioned military stuff, and their military had some real neat stuff. I've seen one real life pulling tractor with a Spitfire engine out of a Spitfire airplane. That thing was
Mhm.
cool.
Do you think we could put a F-22 engine on like a John Deere, maybe?
Whatever the Chinook helicopters use is a pretty popular pulling turbine.
Trying to think of what the Chinooks have. I'm not sure if they're Rolls-Royce or GE. I can't remember off the top of my head. We used to at my on my old job we did the inspections on the civilian version of the A10s, the CF34 engine. So it was always kind of cool to see that.
I know in the EU there's I don't know if I've ever seen one in the States, but they got some of them old radial powered engines on tractors. That's pretty wild.
Not really sure what flow we're going for here. Hydra, I'm just kind of working around you.
Yeah, I thought I'd follow
Oh,
you.
yeah, that makes more sense. I don't know why I went the opposite way.
What
Yeah,
type
I
of engine
probably
setups
wait at
did
the
you
end of
have,
this
Eric?
road and turn around and go the other way. I think going around clockwise is better than going anti-clockwise.
Well, we can only do counterclockwise here.
It said 90% not too long ago, I thought.
We are already in overtime.
Overtime. What was your goal? You were trying to get off at noon?
I just go till noon, yeah. Usually
Ah.
whatever job I finish up about this time. It'll be this one. We're fine.
Well,
Usually I will send everybody to CBW, but I'm not sure if he's streaming today.
I can always stay on and finish up anyway. The rest of them go.
Yep, I will have to go for a bit and eat lunch, and I might be back. I'm not sure what we're doing today.
I had a delicious egg sandwich for brunch. I've actually got to do a little work on my lawnmower. My engine mount bolt's backed out, so that was fun. I mean, it's not. It'll take me about 2 seconds, but
Finally got mine put back together. And I don't need it this week. It's too dry.
yeah. Luckily, I borrowed my mom's fiance's zero turn, which was very nice.
Hey, Buddha. Thanks for stopping in. We're just about to finish up here, but I appreciate you making it nonetheless.
Oh man, I missed that little chunk.
Everybody stop for me. I'm the biggest.
I don't know if that's how that works.
Well, that is how that works. I probably drag both of those two tractors around with me.
I need to learn how to drive. I think would help me a lot.
So yeah, Eric used to pull one. He had like a big block blown on alcohol and a biggish small block on alcohol.
Nice. I'll take you out, Mydra. Photo finish.
All right, guys. I appreciate everybody that stopped in today. We got that field wrapped up there, so I think I'm going to call it for the day. We will be back tonight on ATS, so don't forget to stop back in for that. We'll have the normal chaos and shenanigans.